Welcome back to my motherfucking channel, man. A few things on my mind this morning, man. Some things from yesterday that I was going through. I was in a discussion with a man named Mike DeWeese, and this Mike DeWeese guy, he was saying that, hey Henry, you don't really understand what I'm saying about inner city communities. Like, there's good people down there, and if something happens to one of those good people, that's basically like a casualty of war to him and most white Americans. It's a sad fact that we're talking to ourselves, it seems like, because I'm knowing we're talking to ourselves. The people that we're trying to reach are unreachable, because the videos that I'm seeing, they're seeing the same videos. They seen how the police officer was sitting on dude's neck. That's why they're making the pictures about it. They see the thing that I'm about to talk about now and the discrepancies in that, okay? Check this out. Matter of fact, I'm going to go straight to that. I'm going to go straight to this. This guy's main argument is that it's okay to have casualties of war in black communities. And that's the way white America is treating the rest of the world as well. Like, when we invaded Iraq, when America invaded Iraq, they was like, it doesn't matter if it's civilian or soldier, we can kill y'all because that's casualties of war. If y'all didn't want to die, y'all shouldn't be doing what y'all doing over here. But not everybody is doing that. And you're wondering why a country or a people may not like you. That's because you're killing innocent people. If you killed the bad people in their country only, how could anybody be upset about that? So if you only locked up the criminals in the black community and you never bothered, or you didn't harass the good ones, there wouldn't be a problem in our country or in the world. So their way of thinking is casualties of war. I am a casualty of war. If I get killed by the police because I'm telling the police I haven't done anything wrong and I'm not going to give you my name and my identification, I don't care what investigation you're doing, I have not done anything wrong and I have no idea what you're talking about, that should be the end of the discussion, regardless of what your hunches are. The definition of a crime, and this is why I do not like 100% of police officers. The definition of a crime is something that I shouldn't know. But the definition of a crime is damage to persons or property, or the police actually witnessed the crime. I'll repeat it again. It's damage to person or property, or the police actually see you do the thing. So they can say, I believe it was you, you're in the vicinity, but if you didn't see me do it, it doesn't matter what you believe. So when I try to tell somebody that their way of thinking is casualties of war, black people to them are casualties of war. I mean, the good ones, right? The good white people are saying that we are casualties of war. So when a black person's hung from a tree, or when a 12-year-old little kid is shot by the police, they say, well, it's a war zone down there. You should care about blacks killing blacks more than us killing you, because it's like this casualties of war. Everything they say is casualties of war. That's why they call the inner cities a war zone. So it justifies their casualties of war, all of them. So when I try to explain this, it's like, so where's your proof? So then I got photographs that I'm going to try to attach to this. You know, hopefully I can share this video and the photographs so you can see what I'm talking about. But there was a man, I don't know what city and state he's from, but it's on my wall, and that's where this comes from. This man, this white man, killed 693 black babies. Not grown men, not grown women, babies. I had a guy comment on the photo that I posted. He said he infected them with AIDS too. I don't know how true none of that is, but I tend to believe that he knows something about that story that's not making national news. Okay? And I understand COVID and I understand everything else, but 693 babies supersedes a lot of things. So this is their argument. This is what Mike DeWeese and his kind, this is what their argument is. Black people make up 13% of the population, but they're responsible for 51% of all murders, okay? In Kentucky in 2016, and that's the article that I'm gonna post. In Kentucky in 2016, the whole entire state of Kentucky, you understand this? Not just the city of Louisville, not just the city of Lexington, not just the city of Bowling Green. No, the entire state of Kentucky, there was 106 black deaths killed by black people or in black communities. 106 in 2016. The state of Indiana, at the same time, I got the same, or both states are in the same article. Indiana, the entire state of Indiana had 205 deaths in 2016. Okay. They say that is the justification for the policing that they give us and the casualties of war that they give us. So when I try to explain this right now, I'm trying to show you that if you would add that up, 205 in Indiana in 2016 and 106 in 2016 in Kentucky, it would take 2 years of consecutive death rates. I don't know how to put that. So let me just explain it. So it would take Indiana 2016 and 2017. In both those years, they stayed on the same pace. 205 in 2016, 205 in 2017. Kentucky, same rate. 106 in 2016, 106 in 2017. That equals 600. It was 630 something. 205 is 4. Let me do the math right quick. I already did a calculator, but I didn't really remember that part. But 205 and 205 is 410, and 106 is 212. That's 26. That's 6. Yeah, 626. 626. 626. Okay? So in 2 years, those two states will be 626 deaths. You understand that? 626 deaths in 2 years from black people. One white man killed 693 babies. 693 babies. That means Kentucky and 2 entire states would have to stay on the same death rate for one European American savage. So even if I show Mike DeWeese, or if I show Will Stringers, or if I show white supremacists, if I show European American savages these same numbers, from the same databases, from the same police departments, they're still going to say that pales in comparison to 2016 and 2017. One European American killing 500 people in Vegas. One European American killing 693. One European American killing 50 in Walmart. Do you see where I'm coming from? So now there's black people being hung from trees, and they're calling them suicides before they even do a thorough investigation. So if somebody says to me, you're responsible for 51% of all violent murders or murders, I'm gonna be like, you do understand that black people are being hung from trees, and those are white people that's doing it, right? You don't know that. That's what I'm trying to say to you. There's things that you don't know that you believe. There's things that you don't have no proof of, but you'll swear up and down it's the holy gospel of Christ. So, my point to saying all this is that I know I'm not a casualty of war. And regardless of what the criminals do on the bottom half of black people, it doesn't reflect the top half or the middle. The same goes for all races. The bad things that Asians do doesn't reflect the top or the middle. The bad things that white Americans or European American savages do don't reflect the good white people or the ones in the middle. Does not reflect them. That does not give me a right to make good white people and good Asians casualties of fucking war. Just because the bottom half of them is hanging us from fucking trees. Just because of the discrimination we get from Asians. Just because of the discrimination we get from Latins or any other race. I've heard Mexicans call us niggas. I've heard Asians call us niggas. I've heard Europeans and whites call us niggas. But we don't bring that same energy to no other race. If anything, only thing we do is hurt ourselves. And by us hurting only ourselves, we get hunted down and hung from trees. But yet, every race hurts theirself. And none of us, as black people, go hunt them down and kill them. We don't judge no race because the bottom criminals or the bottom half of their race. But anyway, I'm not a casualty of war, and neither is no black person in any inner city. We're not casualties of war, regardless of how you feel about it. I'm knowing 693 babies should be enough for you to call off your goddamn wars and call off your goddamn casualty of war ways of thinking. But anyway, man, I'm hoping you got my understanding. I'm hoping that somebody out there will see that, look, man, your way of thinking is wrong. But if you don't want to see that, I'm not mad at you. We're just going to keep fighting the good fight and try to have equality for everybody, so everybody's babies can go to school and come home safe. So everybody can walk the streets, whether you white or black, and not be hung from a tree or crucified on the streets. No race should have to pay for the criminals of their color. No race should. So, with that said, man, always peace, always home and love with me. Hope everybody has a good Father's Day. All right, peace.